Welcome. In this CallCabinet how-to video, I will explain how to go about creating a new user and assign them a restricted user role, and what makes a restricted user different from the other predefined user roles. There are two categories of restricted users. One, the restricted user, and two, the restricted admin user. Let's begin. To see what permissions a user is granted when being assigned one of these restricted roles, click on the Settings in the menu panel and then on Custom User Roles. A screen is rendered in the Details panel displaying all the current roles available in the account you are currently logged into. Under the Role Name column, click on the Restricted User item. In the Details panel on the right-hand side, you will see all the permissions granted to a user who has been assigned the restricted user role. In a similar fashion, if you click on the restricted admin item under the role name column, all the permissions granted to a user assigned a restricted admin role are displayed. Now that you understand what permissions a user will have once allocated one of these roles, let us go ahead and see how to create a user assigning them one of these roles. To do so, click on Settings and then under Settings click on User Management. Once the User Management screen has been rendered, go ahead and click on the Add New User button and you will notice an Add dialog opens. Go ahead and enter in the email address for this new user. Then, under the User Role drop-down, select the role that you are wanting to assign this user. We're going to assign this user the Restricted User role. Don't assign a license at this time. You can enter in their first name as well as their last name, and if you're wanting to add a phone number, the date format, single sign-on only, or two-factor authentication, you can go ahead and select the appropriate options. Once done, go ahead and press the Save button. You will immediately notice that your new user has been added to the User Management page, and you can see the details that this user is a restricted user. Incidentally, assigning restricted admin to a user is the identical process as to what we have just performed. Don't forget, like any other user that is created, an email will be sent to this new user with the restricted role, and they will need to activate their login by pressing on the link in the email they received from noreply@callcabinet.com. Now that we have created a new restricted user, it is necessary to apply the various restrictions. To do so, in the menu panel, click on the Settings and then click on Restricted User Roles. You will see that in the Restricted User Roles panel, the restricted user name now appears. You are now able to apply restrictions to this user by assigning specific agents, groups, and sites that this user may work with. To assign one or more agents to this user, click on the agent's icon to the right. When the Edit Assigned Agent dialog appears, go ahead and assign the agents whose calls this particular user will be allowed to listen to. Once done, press the Save button. In the same fashion, you're able to select the groups whose member agents this user may view and listen to their calls by clicking on the group icon. In the dialog that appears, select the group or groups that this user may work with. Once done, press the Save button. Finally, you may select the sites that this user may work with by clicking on the site icon. From the dialog that appears, select the site or sites that the user may work with. Once done, press the Save button. You have now created a restricted user and restricted this user to specific agents, groups, and sites that they may work with. This concludes CallCabinet's how-to video on how to create a restricted user and restrict the user to working with specific agents, groups, and sites. For more information about CallCabinet's predefined roles, please refer to CallCabinet's how-to video on creating users with predefined roles. Also, for more information on custom roles, refer to CallCabinet's how-to video on creating user with custom roles. See you in the next video.